Hello, hello, hello. Hey, ladies. We're live on day 5 of Create More Confidence. Who is here? Who's with me? Who's in? Whoop, whoop. Today is day 5. We're live with day 5, Create More Confidence. We are all about our final formal training tonight. However, don't go away so quick because over the weekend I have a few bonus trainings planned for you. They're going to pop into this group. You'll just have to be ready to receive whenever I show up. No time scheduled, but I'm going to be coming live and sharing a few more last ideas for you. If you're joining me live, come on in and say hello. And if you're on replay, give us a hashtag replay. Tonight's topic is being more decisive. Who feels like they need a little bit of this in their life? Being more decisive, being more clear, being more confident in making decisions. Is this something that you struggle with? I believe the core root of the issue of indecisiveness, is a lack of confidence. And that's why I put it in our Create More Confidence 5-day workshop. So, why do we want to be more decisive? I think you probably already know. You probably already have a sense for why decisiveness is a really important skill. It saves time, it keeps you in forward moving action, it helps you get clarity, it helps you have energy, it helps you give yourself more confidence to make decisions better, faster, and confidently if you're decisive. I think we sort of admire people who are decisive, who are clear in times of crisis, who are able to make a hard decision and stand by it and not worry too much about what other people will think or say, or not worry too much about slightly making the wrong decision, right? That's what other people think or say is the people pleasing. Making a wrong decision is the perfectionism, or just a blend of all of it. Not wanting to look incompetent, not wanting to look like you're making a mistake. This is a big thing for so many. So, you know that you probably want this skill in your life. Maybe you know that you have some area for up leveling. And I'm going to give you my dozen ways to be more decisive tonight. And it's even a better bonus than that because it's a dozen plus. I think I mentioned this before. I started this with a dozen and then it got to be 13, 14, 15. I kind of lose track after a while. All right, so we're going to start with 4 reasons why you want to be more decisive, and then the 12 plus ways to get there. You ready? Double snap. You know it. Number 1, saving time. Time is an unrenewable resource. It's the only one we cannot get more of. When we take a long time to decide, we are prolonging the process. It's not being in action. It's perseverating. Do you like that word? Up, down, yes, no, pro, con, yes, no. Dithering. It's like an open loop. Sometimes coaches talk about it as open buckets. Everything's kind of open. Nothing's closed. Nothing's sealed. Nothing's ready. Everything's undecided. Undecided things suck. Undecided things suck our energy. They suck our time. They suck our bandwidth. They suck our confidence, our competence, our energy to make other decisions. When we revisit, rethink, retread, when we're using our mental bandwidth. We're in limbo when we're undecided, right? It's an energetic drain. Say I if that's an I. Say yes if that's a yes. You follow me? Does that make sense to you? That's just lesson 1, or reason 1, why you want to be more decisive. Number 2, the reason why you want to be more decisive is you want to live in action. I say there are 3 things a coach provides her clients: clarity, accountability, but above all, action. Clarity and accountability without action is like sitting in your rowboat with your oars up. If you are not rowing, if you're not taking action, pointing to the direction where you want to row, you're not really living, you're not doing anything. You're not taking forward motion in your life. We want to increase action in our life. We want to be action oriented. Kind of giving you a sales job here of why you want to be more decisive. We want to get on with it. We want to have forward motion. You know the squirrel saying, right? That the world is paved with undecided squirrels. So sad and kind of grim. The idea that the squirrel crossing the road can't decide. In the middle of the road goes right, left, cross, no, yes, no. They go nowhere. And you know what happens to the squirrel that can't choose? It's flattened. We want to go forward. We want to live our life not like the squished squirrel. A life well lived is full of action. Can we agree? Say yes. I agree. Remember, the last couple of lessons I've given you the idea that life is a lab, that we can kind of live with a sense of exploration, of experimentation. When we expand our growth and our decision-making power, we can live life as a lab. We realize that decisions are not a huge deal. They're not like some huge do or die type of decision. We don't make mistakes. We're just on a grand experiment. We're just trying new things. We're living life with a growth mindset, seeing what happens, and then deciding from that place. Trial, error, explore, play, giving ourselves more space, not a narrowed, really stressy choice point, not do or die, not locked up. We want to give ourselves more space to explore. So when we give ourselves permission to make lots of decisions and make decisions quickly, we're experimenting more and we're living life with a wider range. Do you agree? Fourth reason why we want to become more decisive. I believe it enhances our confidence. Think about this. If you are telling yourself all of these disempowering thoughts, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure, you're infusing yourself with thoughts of doubt. Like, I'm not capable, I don't know who I am, I'm afraid. You don't want to be telling yourself these messages that you're not capable because you're listening. Your subconscious is listening. Every time that you say things like, oh, I don't know, I'm so confused, I'm not sure, I just can't decide, you're sort of underscoring all of those things to be true. I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm not in control, I can't decide. That's not the way we want to live, and that's not the way we want to talk to ourselves, right? We want to tell ourselves, I'm capable, I can decide, I have the power, and I will do it. Let's read some comments and see where you're at with this. Annette, hello. She says, agreed. You know I love the flat squirrel analogy. I've used it before. The undecided world is paved with flat squirrels. Cherie says, yes. And Jennifer's here too. And hi, Melanie. Nice to see you. Keep the comments coming. All right. So am I selling you on why you want to become more decisive? Maybe it sparks some fear in you, some doubt or some tension, like that fear in your gut, like, ugh, I hate being put on the spot. I don't like making a decision. We want to just be with that. We just want to know, what is it about deciding that creates drama for ourselves? Are you the kind of person that can't even decide when you go out to a restaurant what you want to eat? Or is that easy for you? What's easy and what's hard for you in decision making? Is it easy for you to decide what you're going to wear for the day or to go out to a really important meeting or event? Or is that hard because it has high stakes feeling to it? Let's just kind of play with, where do we get stuck with being indecisive because somehow the stakes seem really high, or we will make a mistake, or we don't want to do the wrong thing. Okay. Cherie says, fear of being wrong is easy. Or the fear of choosing the wrong food is easy. Like, you hate ordering the wrong thing, right? Okay, then you just order again. All right, let's start talking about the how you can become more decisive. I'm going to give you all of these different tactical tips that you can try on, and get ready because I might ask you which one's your favorite. The first way that you can become more decisive is break down the elements that you need to decide. Like, why are we overwhelmed? Parse it out. Don't just feel buried like, oh my gosh, I can't decide. Really, what do you need? What are the pieces that are making you feel overwhelmed? If you have a really big decision to make, let's say we're offered a promotion in another state and we're just shutting down. We're thinking like, oh my God, I can't even think about it. Let's just look at all the factors. Look at all the building blocks of things that are on the table. The time, like when do you need to make the decision by? The money, is there different salary that is provided in the two different jobs? Or is there a different cost to staying here versus going? These are the elements that you need to know to decide. Maybe there are other choices, like other people might be impacted, like I'll have to leave my family, but I get to go live by my best friend. You want to think about what are all of the elements that are causing the overwhelm, not falling into spiral thinking there's so much, but actually just listing and seeing very clearly what is it that is causing the indecision? What are all the pieces that need to be decided? Do you want more money? Do you want more time? Do you want to live near your close friend? Do you want a new job opportunity? Do you want to move? And if you parse them out, it might be easier if they're yes, no questions. You might be able to see more clearly what the decision might be. You can ask yourself, what am I most concerned about? Or what can I answer and I'm not concerned about? Like the money's the same, that's not the issue. Take that off the table. The inertia of getting up and moving to live in a new city, that concerns me. Okay, we'll put that over there. That's something I need to decide. And then you could ask yourself, what if I could just think all of those things through right now and not take a whole month of perseverating, a whole month of weighing the pros and cons and thinking it through? What if I made a rapid decision? There's a different thing between deciding and committing. This is a different thing I'm going to bring in. You can say, all right, if I had to decide tonight, I would take the other job. Am I going to commit? Am I going to quit this job and call my boss and call that other hiring manager and make it all happen? Not yet. I'm not committing to my decision yet, but I'm playing with the decision that I can make. How we feel about that? All right, that was just number one. Saddle up, ladies. We got more to go. Number two, ways to be more decisive. Shorten the deliberation time. Do not give yourself all the time in the world to make the decision. There's this whole principle that says, the work that needs to be done will fill the amount of time you give yourself to do it. Have you heard of that principle? Somebody can name that for me in the group, I'm sure. The same thing is true with deciding. If you decide that you have a whole month, if you choose to say, I have a whole month to decide, you will take a whole month deliberating, perseverating, weighing the pros and cons to decide. What if you just shorten that deliberation time and say, I'm giving myself one day? Does that strike fear in the hearts of you who are thinking, ugh, that's a lot of pressure? I want to share with you the story of Jeff Bezos, the founder and previous CEO of Amazon.com. Now he's like the owner of the earth, right? His whole ethos is that he makes decisions for Amazon, for all of his companies, with only 70% of the factors present to be able to decide. He doesn't wait for all the information. He knows that the time to decide is now, and the longer you wait, the more money you lose. The longer you wait, the further in inaction you are. He knows that the way to run the world is to keep moving forward and keep deciding. And then he's not afraid of any so-called mistake. There's no mistake. You just keep deciding. You make a decision, and from that point, then you make another decision, and from that point, you make another decision, and that's all it is. You don't beat yourself up and think, I regret what I just decided. You know that that's your operating manual. You give yourself permission to decide quickly and decide again on top of that decision. Be like Bezos. Stop wasting your time. Stalling takes time and energy. Be the CEO of your life, right? The only resource you cannot recreate is time. So let's use it. Use it quickly. All right, you ready? Number three, a big thing that we talk about in coaching is know your reasons. So not making a decision by default, not just kind of like going with something and then not examining it. Make a decision, but then know your reasons and like them. You might like both choices. Let's say that job, the job offer in another state and the job that you have here. Maybe you like both, but you're going to make a decision and you're going to like it. You could like both, but you're going to decide, I'm moving to Maine, I'm going to take this new job, and I'm going to like it because I'm excited. I like those reasons better. It could be that I liked staying where I am and not having to move and not having to find new friends and not having to leave my family, but I chose these reasons and I'm going to like them. So you just go with the reasons that you decide you're going to like and stick with it. Kelly says, lead your life. Way to go, girl. I see your comments. All right, number 4, another way to be more decisive is use embodiment. This is where you try a decision on, like literally pretend that you make that decision. I'm moving to Maine, and feel into it. Does it feel kind of like, ooh, that's kind of cool. I'm kind of excited. Or does it feel like, oh my God, that makes me feel panicky? You want to go with the decision that feels good in your gut. And sometimes the way to get there is to try it on like a cloak and walk around. I sometimes pretend that I've made a decision and I walk around the block with that decision on my shoulders. I pretend that that's what I've decided and I walk around like that. That's my decision and try to feel into it. Do I feel easy and calm and striding wide and enabled and enthused and encouraged and excited? Or am I kind of full of trepidation and some mix of anxiety and excitement? That's all okay. It's just information. What are the possibilities from the vantage point of trying the decision on as if it were an article of clothing and walking around like it was true? Like that's the one that you chose. Walk around with the decision on. See what you think. How are we doing, ladies? Are you liking this? Is this working for you? All right, you ready? We're going to move on. This one's a big one. So I'm going to take some time on number 5. Don't lie to yourself. Okay? These are lies that we tell ourselves. These are lies that society tells us. Oh, don't make a rash decision. Don't make a hasty decision, right? That doesn't sound rational or mature. We tell ourselves, well, I like to make a really good decision. I like to sleep on it. I like to take my time. I let her roll it around. I like to sit with it. That feels like I'm making a really good decision. And there's a lot of support for that. Our community often will say, oh yeah, take your time with making that decision. That's a big decision. And I just want to say in some ways, this is a lie. Every decision you make is a snap decision. When you decide, it's that moment. When you tell the waiter, I am having this for dinner, you have made your decision and committed to it. Right? It's just a moment. The deciding is what takes so long, but you're not really deciding by taking that long. Your decision is when you finally commit. So it's a little bit of a lie to say like, well, I don't make a rash decision or a hasty decision. You actually always are making hasty decisions when you finally decide because it's a moment in time. It's a blink. It's a split second. Every decision you make can take either a really long time or a really short time. There's no such thing as a rash decision. It's just a decision. So you want to go back to up to number 1 and consider all the factors that you need to decide and see if you can evaluate all of them. You can go through, number 3, know and like your choices. Number 4, feel it into your body, and then just decide. So what I want to ask you is, are we making excuses for the uncertainty that brings discomfort? Like we don't feel comfortable making a decision because there's all this stuff we don't know and it feels awful, right? And so we say, well, I don't want to make a rash decision. It's a really big deal and I'm very concerned about making a wrong decision. And so we make these excuses for ourselves, taking a lot of time because it doesn't feel good to decide. So I want to call you forth here. Can you be in more action? Thinking on it is staying in indecision. Flip-flopping yes or no is totally staying in indecision, and neither are very empowered. Both of them have the image of the flattened squirrel. I might be calling you out a little bit there. You might want to argue with me a little bit. That's okay. You can always argue with your coach. Just giving you provocative ideas. Number 6, what if either option is great? What if neither one is wrong or right? What if both possibilities hold a potential great outcome? Like, let's say the 2 different jobs. I keep this one because there's things happening here that I like, and I like my supervisor and I like the work. Or I could take this other one, big promotion, more money. What if they're both potentially right? What would you choose if both are right, so that you're not making a mistake. You're not afraid that one might not turn out well. You're trusting both are actually good, and see if that helps loosen things up for you. Like, there's no all or nothing binary choice here. Do you gals notice that I chose my clothing very subliminally for this evening? And my jewelry? It's not a black and white decision, ladies. It's not always a yes or no. Here's another one for you. This is from my client Louise. What if you don't even have to choose? What if you think you have a decision you have to make? This job or that job? But what if it's not binary? What if it's not either or? What if it's not this or that? My client Louise actually figured out that her choice point was a blend. She saw a new option that she pitched back to her manager to say, actually, between the job that I have and the promotion that you're offering me, what if we created a new option? And she created a middle path, not a yes or no. I thought that was brilliant and so creative. And indeed, she's a creative artist. Okay, number 8. What if we're just afraid of the consequences of our decision? We fear that we'll regret it after we see how it turns out. Like, what if we move all the way to this other city, take this other job, and then we hate it and it doesn't work out? We get this worry ahead of time where we think, well, what if it's unlucky? What if I regret it? Here's the thing. You don't know that if you take this other job, that this one would have stayed the same. We sometimes play with this false sense of certainty, this false notion of security, that that which is already here will always be here in exactly the same way. That assumption isn't true. Everything is out of our control. So don't manufacture pain and worry over potential circumstances. Like, what if I choose this and then I don't like it and I wish I would have stayed? Or what if I stay and then this would have been the better option? We don't know. We really have to deal with so much uncertainty. We can't manufacture this idea that one thing would have been the same if only we would have stayed. There's no what ifs with decision making. So if you want to go for it and you fail, what if there's no fail? What if there's nothing wrong? You're either deciding or learning, right? You're winning or learning, not losing. You're deciding and then getting to decide again if that's what you need to do. Maybe you don't want to have to decide again. Okay. No one guaranteed you that staying or playing it safe or not deciding was going to guarantee you any result either. So, you don't know that if you chose differently, the other thing would have played out better. We don't have control. So don't try to manufacture this pain for you. Does that resonate for you? If you fear the consequences, know that the consequences were never guaranteed either way. Number 9. This one is a big one. We're making decisions that impact other people. If we're going to break up with somebody and we're having a hard time deciding, if we think we're going to fire somebody and we're having a hard time doing it, if we're going to cut a whole program or a course and we're worried about the team that created it, when we change the status quo, a lot of leaders need to do this and they have a negative impact on others, and that's daunting. And that makes it difficult for us to make a decision. Does that resonate for you? So, in those moments, we need to stay in integrity and just ask ourselves, if I had to hire this person all over again, the one that I think I should fire, would I do it? Would I recommit? If I had to choose this partner all over again and get involved in a relationship, the one that I think I should break up with because I don't think it's really the long-term answer for me, but I'm afraid of hurting their feelings, would I recommit to that person now? No, that's your answer. So if there's something that you want to drop, this way can show you the answer. Would you recommit to it? No, now? No. That's why you're having this friction, is you just worry about the other person being hurt. But don't let that past decision, the fact that you already committed to that partner, that project, that job, that employee, be the defining reason that you stay with the current decision if it's not right now. If that decision isn't correct for you now, if it doesn't feel right now, then you have to follow your gut there. You following? Okay, number 10 is artfully the 10 10 10. The 10 10 10. Ask yourself, just a little perspective play. Okay, I'm having a hard time making this decision. I'm asking myself, will it matter in 10 days? Will I remember the difficulty of this decision in 10 days? Will I remember it in 10 months? What about 10 years? If it has that much weight, can I re-decide as I go? Sometimes we really labor over decisions that aren't that important, that won't really have that much meaning or impact in 10 minutes, 10 days, 10 months, or 10 years. So let's just kind of lighten up a little bit about that indecision. And speaking of that, the long view, number 11 is take the inner icon perspective. Ask your future self, your admired self, your wiser older self, your future leader self. What would she have you choose right now? She's more evolved, she's more further along becoming who you're going to be. What would she advise you to do? Your inner advisor, your inner captain. I love this one. What would she have you do, your future self? How would she decide? Number 12. Sometimes we do this worst case, best case scenario. Now go with me. This one might be kind of a brain bender. What if the worst case scenario isn't that everything doesn't work out? What if the worst case is that you didn't risk the best case and you missed out on the amazing possibilities of making a bold decision? What if you do go for it and it's all okay? What if it turns out better than you even planned? Versus letting fear hold you back from the possibility of the best case. Sometimes if we have a really risky decision we want to make, we think, well, the worst case scenario is I go for it and I fail, I crash and burn, I embarrass everyone, I hurt people's feelings, I look like a fool, and I'm humiliated. But what if the worst case is that you didn't go for it because it might have worked? Dare to be great, ladies. All right, here's your bonus. Your bonus. Now we've done 12 ways to be more decisive. Number 13, decide first. Do your best to decide first before you start polling your people. Maybe you're the type of decision maker that's like, I don't know, what do you think I should do, friend? What do you think I should do, sister? What do you think I should do, parent? What do you think I should do, committee of people that I trust? And we kind of do this polling. We ask everybody we know what their opinion is. That is a way of abdicating our power, giving it all up, deciding not to decide and letting all our people decide for us. Or worse yet, wasting their time when we actually really kind of know what we're going to do, but we really want the affirmation of their positive assent first, right? What if you do decide, you say, okay, I've made a decision, but I do care about your input and your opinion. I want to poll you, and then I'll tell you what I decided. So much more empowered, right? I love that one. Number 14, perhaps the biggest one, is whatever you do, don't not decide. Not deciding is the worst type of decision making. Not deciding are those open loops that aren't even evaluated or addressed. It's letting everything just sort of fall away without you mustering the attention and the intention of how you want to run your life. You're just letting everything else go. I think it's the worst kind of decision making. Just deciding to let it pass. I'm not going to vote. I'm not even going to bother. Stay involved, stay engaged. It's your life. Okay, as we're rolling into our conclusion of the 12 plus ways to be more decisive, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the reasons why I think it is hard for us, even though some of these I've posed to you with a great sense of inspired action. I know that, like, let's be real, some decisions are really, really hard. And I think there are two reasons why they're really hard. And I just want to acknowledge that now. I think the first reason is we have worry. We're really worried about something in the future that might not go well. And the decision brings forth that underlying condition that we all sort of live with unconsciously. It brings forth the worry. And I want to define for you what worry is and why it's not worth your attention. You ready? Worry is present concern for something in the future that hasn't happened yet and may or may not happen. And it is unnecessary. I'm going to say that again. Worry is present concern in the here and now, being concerned, being distracted about something that could happen in the future, hasn't happened yet, and it may or may not happen. And we spend energy considering it, being worried about it, but it's completely unnecessary. It doesn't help us prepare. It just takes all of our energy now, thinking that somehow it makes us safe if we consider it ahead of time. Can you follow that? The other reason why I think we have so much trouble making quicker decisions, deciding quickly, is because we just lack clarity. People who don't have a clear sense of what's right and wrong for them, what's a yes and no for them, people who don't have self-knowledge and self-trust, people who don't really know what their operating system is, will have a lot of difficulty deciding on behalf of that operating system. So that's the lesson here is like, okay, I got to get to know me better. I got to feel more comfortable and confident in me making decisions for me, knowing who I am, what makes me tick, what I like, what works for me, what's a yes for me, what my boundaries are. Step one, ladies. That is step one. And that is what's going to take me into this transition now to explain why you want to consider joining the Confident Leadership Program. My paid program that I am now offering. The doors are open for gals and Create More Confidence to come into this small group coaching program to learn just this. We start with clarity on who you are, knowledge about your skills, seeing your strengths and your brilliance, and loving on it and trusting yourself. That's step one to emotional intelligence, which is so much more important than anything else that you've got going on. And once we actually layer that emotional intelligence, that rock solid sense of self, that operating instruction manual that now we're in control of, we're free to then learn how to lead others. And that's what I'm sharing with you in this comprehensive course where I teach you what you need to be decisive and confident and self-assured, to be the woman of influence, that powerful, self-assured, comfy in her own skin woman of influence that you long to be. The type of person that exudes, follow me confidence, and I'm comfortable being me. It's one course that has this personal mastery and leadership confidence blended together. I take you from where you are. If you have negative thoughts, self-doubt, an inner critic, if you second guess yourself, if you feel uncertain, if you have imposter syndrome, if you lack self-worth, if you're addicted to doing to get external validation and feel competent and safe, all of these things, all of these behaviors that brought us together that I've been training you on, I bring you from this place to where you want to be, right? Less anxiety, knowing yourself, radiating self-confidence, feeling peace and ease and freedom and bold. And like you're a good decision maker and you're empowered to take on risks and you got your own back. This is what I'm all about, and this is what I'm teaching my clients. It's getting that skeleton from external validation back inside of you. Self-knowledge, self-love, growth, and decisions come from here. Sound good? All right, ladies, now's the time. I have already started meeting with so many of you and welcoming you into the program. There's some darn cool women in this group. This is my thrill, is I always get to meet women that I've never met before that are going to become lifelong colleagues. I can just feel it. Once we get connected, it's a very intimate relationship. So I'm going to show you the link of how you get connected with me. You come to joeleader.com/apply-now and you get on my calendar. The first way that you get into this group is you need to book a call with me and we need to meet in real life and see if we're a fit. If you feel resonant with these lessons, if you like this energy, if you feel like these lessons are what's on for you, if I've described a problem for you, then chances are you're a good fit for the program. But I want to meet you and I want to see if I can help you. So I require a phone meeting for us to talk about where you are in your life, what you struggle with, to see if I can help and what size program is right for you. So after we discuss your decision, your situation, you make a decision, and if you join, we dig in. We get you going on talking to your inner saboteur, working on your imposter syndrome, figuring out where you get stuck in people pleasing and perfectionism. We chart a course. That's all in December, and it's all free. It's all a bonus month before we actually launch in January with the course. That's one of the bonuses that I'm offering this cohort. And then once we launch, you follow my step-by-step framework of video lessons plus group coaching calls to lock in new learning, gain support, grow, have accountability, and feel the empowerment and support of the group to take new actions. It is amazing, and there is nothing like it. The women in my group feel lucky to have found each other. I'll read you some quotes from them in a minute. And on top of that core part of the group program, the membership area that has all of the lessons that you have lifetime access to, plus the small group coaching where you're seen and coached in a very private, intimate, loving circle of like-minded growth mindset women. On top of that, I give you complete access to me and my support. Every woman gets one-on-one coaching with me to be able to forward the action in her life, whatever she's dealing with, to have personalized attention and lessons, and daily access to me via this walkie-talkie free support that you can download on your phone. Just today, I had these really long exchanges back and forth with two current clients, one who's really dealing with frustration with a coworker and another who's dealing with real frustration with an incompetent boss. And both of them were able to have access to me by either talk texting or type texting me saying, this is what I'm going through and I'm working through this lesson. Where am I getting stuck? I need some support. I need some help. And I've been able to, in real time, give them coaching to help them unblock their real life situation. Because let's be honest, there's one thing to listen to sort of a podcast like what we're doing, and there's another to embed it in the action of your life with real humans that cause us so much drama, right? That's where the coaching takes place in your real life. And that's why one-on-one coaching and this daily Voxer voice walkie-talkie support is so incredible that I offer this on top of the program. I do it because I know it brings results. All right, ladies, so I'm going to show you the link again. It's www.joeleader.com /apply now. And in this page, you see all of the things that the course provides. You'll see testimony from some current and past clients, and you'll see how you can get on my calendar because it's time. If you don't book a call before Sunday night, some of the bonuses go away. And plus, it's just time to take action, right? This is your opportunity to show your decisiveness, to show up for yourself, to commit to at least meeting with me in real life. I guarantee you that actually having a consult with me will be powerful in and of itself. Even if the decision is no go, I'm not going forward. But I'm telling you, if you decide to go forward, this is what the result will be. Your growth in these areas of personal competence and relationship competence, and I don't mean like just loving relationships, I mean at work as a leader, resolving conflict, giving direct feedback, motivating others, speaking publicly, speaking with authority, all of the leadership skills that you long for. When you come into a course like this and you really get the lessons, it's freedom. Your growth isn't possible. It's not probable. It's inevitable. That's what I am offering. I'm offering a guarantee. All right, so we'll talk a little bit more this weekend about who comes into these courses, but they're basically women from all walks of life. I have scientists, I have nonprofit owners, I've got directors, project managers, people in IT, people who are coaches, people who are unemployed, people who have bad bosses, people who want to be a great boss, people who want to have a fresh start, people who just want to know themselves better and want to release some of the tension that they have of being human and do better at their job of being human in their own life. They want more ease and freedom at work with their work identity and drop the stress and the anxiety and the holding themselves back. That's what's on. That's what we're all about with clarity, action, and accountability. And all of the lessons that I've gathered over 30 years of my leadership trainings distilled in my modular content in my members area for you that you keep for your whole darn life. All right? All right, ladies. Some of you might be wondering a little bit about, how. It might sound airy fairy, but I actually have a real process, a linear process that I take my clients through. And some of the early things that happen in the course are the things that can bring some of the most transformation. I'm going to explain two of those right now that happen early in the course. One is a special assessment that you probably have never heard of that gives you a view on your strengths, your gifts, your positive impact as others see you. It's a beautiful assessment that I like to use that's so illuminating, that so argues with your inner saboteur and inner critic about how you're not deserving, your imposter syndrome, because it shows you what kind of impact you actually already have in the world. It's an amazing experience. There's another lesson that I take you through that I'll leave on the side for now, but the main one that I find has been so impactful is creating your personalized victory statement. I bring each woman through a process personally that works for them to create their own audio statement of who they're believing that they can be, who they are when they're in their most positive self-belief, what's possible for them when they stay in that self-belief. And they listen to this belief shifting audio tape until they feel better. I've had numerous women come through my course saying, I wish I did that earlier. I wish I took it seriously. And I needed to do it more than once because actually the things that I longed to be true became true because I started working on my beliefs. I started working on my thoughts. I started understanding my skills and my talents and seeing myself in a whole different way. It's remarkable. It is worth the price of admission right there. So there's just two things that we do early on in the course that are actually tangible, tactical skills that you can take with you for the rest of your life to know and love who you're becoming. And then, as I mentioned, all of the other leadership skills are on. I teach a public speaking workshop within this course where each woman gets an opportunity to practice her skills in a really loving container, which can kind of freak you out if you don't like public speaking, but give you such a great opportunity to level up your skills. There are other bonuses for this group, including women who have graduated are part of an alumni program. And if you are a current student, you are welcome to join my alumni call every week for women that are taking these lessons deeper, who are doing kind of advanced and bonus series. So you can double your learning if you so choose. As I mentioned, December is a bonus month of complementary coaching that we're going to focus on imposter syndrome, inner critic, saboteur, as just a baseline before we really go live with the training in January. So you have time to lean into the lessons. We also have special speakers that come inside of my group that I invite, other coaches, other practitioners that are expert in their own modalities. I've had a clinical hypnotherapist come and work with us on creating a worthiness hypnotized tape that you can listen to if you're so interested. And coming up in 10 days, I have another special practitioner that's coming into the group. If you're a current student, you're welcome to join these courses as well. They're just free. They're all part of what I do inside the container of my paid program. So ladies, there is no time like the present to get started on a course to really develop who you are personally, to really level yourself and your skills up, to become that amazing leader that you named on day one, right? Your inner icon, the person that you know is capable, competent, who comes from an elevated place, a really effective leader who gives you that follow me style. You're ready to be promoted, to get the role that you choose, to stop stressing, to stop obsessing, to get more clients, to make more money. All of this is on for you when you create more confidence in my Completely Confident Leadership course. Women who graduate always claim that they have at least doubled their confidence, if not tripled or quadrupled, in a short span of time. And it's literally not that hard. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It just happens that at some point over the course of these lessons and the coaching and the attention and the intention and the awareness, they come to me and they say, I feel better. I really feel different. And then they worry, how can I hold on to this? And then we coach on that. It's our brains doing those funny things that they do. But that's what happens when you come in a supportive environment. You level yourself up and then you hold that new space. Your individual results will depend on how coachable and open and eager and honest you are with yourself. That's why I want to meet you to see if you're a really good fit for the program. But if you are those things, I can absolutely help you. And I would love to. I would love to meet you in real life. It's the joy of my work. So you want to go over here to this link, www.joeleader.com/apply now. And when you get on there, you can find time on my calendar. I'm only opening this for 1 week, but the bonuses go away on Sunday. So you want to book a call before Sunday night, but you have all of this next week to find time on my calendar. What do you think, ladies? Does it sound like an offer that you want to follow up on? I would love to tell you that like after these courses are over, after my trainings are done, I had the opportunity to go through and read all the comments. And last night I found some of my current clients that are lurking in this group having some fun. I love it. Anytime you're a client of mine, you're welcome to all my trainings, free or paid. And so there's several women that are probably inside the group tonight that are current clients. And last night I found a couple of their comments. Here's one from Michelle. She said, "Ladies, this is so worth it," with a lot of O's. "Joe is amazing." That's so lovely. And Kelly said, "I echo what Michelle said. Joe is awesome. It is worth it. You will find out that you are worth it." There was a time just recently that part of what happens when you're a client of mine, you get invited to my exclusive retreats. And we just did a retreat in Zion National Park with 7 lovely special women hiking and having campfire circles and having tears of gratitude on a daily basis. I asked them for feedback about the retreat at the end. And while this isn't specific to my Completely Confident Leadership course, I thought I would share with you some of the comments that the woman wrote to me on the evaluation form. I just asked at the end kind of this open-ended question about the retreat. Is there anything else that you would like to share? And I'm going to read some of these comments now. One said, "I'm so grateful to you, Joe. Grateful that I met you, grateful that you speak to me in a language I understand, and grateful that you help me see the best things in me so that I can keep powering forward no matter what. Thank you." Here's another one. "Anything else you would like to share? That you, Joe, are one of the most amazing people I have ever met. You always know just what to say and are always so upbeat. I wish I had your energy. You made all of us feel so welcome and provided everything we needed and more. I can't wait to do it again." Another, "I feel so appreciative, Joe, of you and your ability to draw out the best in me. You have helped me be better and to better believe in myself and my abilities. Thank you for your willingness to do what you have clearly been called to do." And the last one was, "Joe, you're an amazing and inspiring female. Thank you for being you and showing up on my Facebook feed." I meet a lot of people just, randomly just on Facebook. We never have met, and then all of a sudden we're in each other's orbit and we learn together, grow together. And honestly, I hope it doesn't sound too creepy, we love on each other. I really have a very warm heart for the women who become my clients and I get to know so well. Okay, I need to say something about all of that. While those women clearly made their testimony about me and thanking me for providing the container of that retreat, it really isn't about me. I'm sharing these with you because what these women are claiming, what they feel, that gratitude, is how lucky they feel that they're just inside this program, that they're with like-minded sisters, that they're included, that they feel uplifted and inspired. What they're saying is how they feel about themselves, that they found this program and invested in themselves. And it's how you can feel too. That's why I shared it with you, not just to give me some glory, but man, is it so heartening to know that I've made an impact with them, and I think I could make an impact with you too. All right, ladies, it's come time for us to close out Create More Confidence. Don't leave this group forever. Come on in the weekend. I'm going to have some more special bonuses for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about why investing in ourselves is so important and what commitment really means. And I'm also probably going to give you the opportunity to meet some clients that are currently in the program so that you can get a feel for whether or not it's a fit for you too. All right, so I'd like to conclude with a huge thank you, with so much gratitude for you taking the time to invest in yourself, even in this 5-day workshop, and a calling you forth to meet with me on the phone to see what future growth might be here for you. I'm telling you, you're so important. There's nothing more important than investing in than your growth. This comes with so much love. Have a lovely Friday night and a beautiful weekend. Bye for now.